Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers projected to land Najee Harris's replacement in new NFL draft projection. Among the many questions that face the Pittsburgh Steelers and head coach Mike Tomlin after a 10-7 season, the future at tailback is up in the air with Najee Harris expected to depart in free agency. Harris, a former Alabama star, eclipsed 1,000 rushing yards in each of his first 4 seasons. Touchdowns were hard to come by in 2024, however, as the former first-round pick totaled a career-low 6 scores. Harris's fifth-year option was declined by the Steelers last spring, opening the door for a potential exit this offseason. However, that decision hasn't been made yet, and the franchise could elect to bring Harris back in the end, according to a report from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The Steelers are expected to return third-year running back Jaylen Warren, who finished behind Harris with 511 yards and a touchdown. In NFL.com's latest mock draft from Chad Reuter, Pittsburgh does address the position with Harris headed for free agency. The Steelers are projected to use the number 21 overall pick to select Ohio State running back Quinton Judkins, saving an opportunity to take a quarterback, Alabama's Jalen Milroe, for the second round. Judkins' open field burst, ability to read blocks and willingness to run through contact will make him a great fit for the Steelers, and he's a nice outlet for quarterbacks out of the backfield, Reuter wrote. Remember, Najee Harris is headed for free agency. I'm projecting Pittsburgh will take a quarterback in round 2. Judkins, 6 foot, 219 pounds, helped lead the Buckeyes to a national championship as a junior in 2024. The former Ole Miss star exploded onto the scene with the Rebels in 2022, earning SEC Freshman of the Year and first-team All-SEC honors after racking up 1,567 rushing yards with 16 touchdowns. After posting 1,158 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns as a sophomore, Judkins elected to transfer to Ohio State under head coach Ryan Day. The Pike Road, Alabama, native earned third-team All-Big Ten honors for totaling 1,060 rushing yards with 14 touchdowns. A proven ball carrier, Judkins is also a threat as a receiver out of the backfield. He amassed 59 receptions for 442 yards with 5 touchdowns during his collegiate career. Judkins is expected to have an opportunity to perform at the NFL Combine from February 27 to March 2 before the 2025 NFL Draft kicks off from April 24 to 26 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. First call, Bill Cowher expects Steelers to have dialogue about Aaron Rodgers, reasons behind big Super Bowl TV ratings. Comments from former Steelers coach Bill Cowher are likely to keep the Aaron Rodgers speculation going in Pittsburgh. An ex-Steeler is on his way out of New England. Television ratings for the Super Bowl were good, and for some very specific reasons. We have an idea of how Sidney Crosby will be used by Team Canada if he is healthy enough to skate. And the Pitt Hoops team is playing a pivotal game in Texas on Tuesday night. All that in Tuesday's first call. He didn't say no. Former Steelers coach Bill Cowher stopped short of dismissing all the talk about Aaron Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh. Cowher was on the Dan Patrick Show on Monday. The Hall of Famer said he expects Rodgers to play again next year, even though Fox's Jay Glazer reported that the New York Jets are moving on from him as the franchise's quarterback. I think he wants to play. I think there's going to be a place for him, somewhere, Cowher insisted. He's gonna go to his dark place. He's going to come out. You never know where Aaron's coming from. But I think if he puts his mind to it, he can still throw it. He can still move around fine. It's got to be the right place for him. The right situation. I just don't think he's going to want to feel like he got run out this year from the New York Jets. I just don't think he wants to go out on that note. So I'm going to say, somewhere, he's going to land. Patrick asked Cowher if he thought Pittsburgh could be that place. Yeah, Cowher said with a sigh. I don't know where they are right now in terms of their quarterback situation with Russell, Wilson, and Justin Fields. I think a decision has to be made. What's the future plan, and what is the plan in the interim? If the interim plan is just to maintain 9-8 until the Steelers find a future plan at quarterback, then Rodgers might be able to do that. Then again, he and the Jets just went 5-12 this year, with him playing in all 17 games. I think there's going to be a sense of urgency, taking some guys on the back end of their careers. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward. They're in the latter stages of their careers. So they want to win now, Cowher continued. That's a big part of what they want to do, but you've also got to have a plan moving forward and at that position. There will be dialogue there, but those will be conversations taking place in that building. That said, many of Wilson's numbers were actually better than Rodgers were. While Wilson played in fewer games, he put up a slightly better passer rating, 95.6, than Rodgers, 90.5. Wilson averaged more yards per attempt, 7.4 to 6.7. His completion percentage was slightly better, 63.7% to 63%. Their yards per game numbers were nearly identical, 225 for Wilson and 229 for Rodgers. Perfect trade. Steelers must offer 49ers for Deeboo Samuel. It looks like the San Francisco 49ers will have a different receiver room in 2025 as they will likely trade Deeboo Samuel. The veteran wideout recently broke his silence about the situation. And here is a perfect trade. The Steelers must offer the 49ers for Samuel. It all comes down to a draft pick. And with the way the market has gone for veteran wide receivers, it should cost the Steelers too much draft capital to land the 49ers veteran. They could send a fourth-round pick to the 49ers and pair Samuel with rising star George Pickens. Samuel's days as a number one target are gone into a sea of age and injury history. But he still has the juice to give defenses plenty to think about as the number two option. Of course, this comes with the caveat that the Steelers keep Pickens in Pittsburgh. Beat writer Mark Kaboly thinks they will, according to a post on X by Steelers Depot. Kaboly predicts George Pickens will be back with the Steelers in 2025. I think I'm really thinking or believing that George Pickens will be back. So you better prepare yourself. They're not just gonna dump him and say, let's cut the cancer and just move on here. They want to at least have somebody in place, and unless you have a guy who is as talented as him, you're not going to do that because all of a sudden that compromises your whole offense. I don't see that happening. So this brings Samuel to the forefront. And he's apparently ready to move on from the 49ers, who feel likewise, according to a post on X by Adam Schefter. The 49ers have granted Deeboo Samuel and his agent Tory Dandy permission to find a trade partner for the wide receiver, Samuel told ESPN. This comes after Samuel asked San Francisco to trade him during the players' exit meetings after the season. It was a hard conversation to have with Kyle Shanahan because of the relationship that we have, Samuel said today. But I have to do what's best. I'm more than thankful for the Niners giving me the opportunity of a lifetime, but now I think it's best that we find another team. San Francisco head coach Kyle Shanahan said he doesn't think Samuel has lost a step, according to a post on Facebook by 95.7 The Game. I don't think Deeboo slowed down, Shanahan said. And, I think he got banged up early in the year. I think he had an awesome training camp to where I'd say he didn't slow down at all. And then got hurt and had the pneumonia. When you build up a bunch in camp and you miss a lot of time in practice, it is hard to maintain that stuff. But by no means do I think he's lost it or anything. And then his looks haven't been as good this year. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Deeboo Samuel? Leave your opinion in the comments.